So this is day 21 of our 100 days journey to the secret place, our personal meditation journey. And whether you're on that journey or not, whether you decided to say yes to that or not, I think it's important to talk about what this journey can be. So I love that phrase, Raheem, the grace of full surrender. Because I do believe that's what meditation is. That you come face to face with and have an experience of the grace of full surrender. That you surrender fully this life, that life I was alluding to when we had our opening exercise, our opening prayer. That we let go of all of this stuff that we have in our lives. All of the things we do, all the people we do things for, all the responsibilities we have, all of the hats that we wear, all the places we have to be, all the list of things to do, everything, all the noise outside of our lives, and we surrender fully to who we truly are. To this inner space, this energy that is us, that is God. That's the goal. To give us a way to do that. And I love that that's one of Unity's 5 principles, that prayer and meditation are a way that we have an experience of God, because then we also have an experience of ourselves at a very, very deep level. I don't know of anything else in my life that has given me that kind of insight into me, my stuff, my baggage, my issues, my joys, my fears, my dreams, everything that I needed to heal, everything I had within me to heal what's here and to live a life overflowing with joy. I don't know of anything else, because what I've discovered and what many of you are discovering and what many masters know is that nothing outside of us can give you true peace and joy. Nothing. Nothing. Not the right partner, not the right girlfriends, not the right job, not the right amount of money, not the most beautiful house, the perfect garden. There's not enough fun. There's not enough to drink. Though some of us try. There's not enough essential oils. There's not enough crystals. There's nothing outside of you that's going to fill what you may construe as a void in your life if you think you have one. And if there's any illusion in life, that's it. That you lack something. That you lack something. And it's through getting quiet that we come face to face with the something. The something. And getting quiet, going into the silence, takes us there. That's why most of us don't want to go. How many times have I said that? That's why most of us don't want to go, because you don't want to know the stuff in your head. Or some of you know the stuff in your head and you don't want to look at it again. Some of you don't want to face the stuff you got from childhood. Some of you don't. Some of you just want to leave it alone, tuck it somewhere, and hope it stays there, and hope it doesn't mess with you. Well, even if you're not paying attention to it, it is messing with you at some level. Somewhere in your body, your mind, your spirit, or your heart. Somewhere it's chasing you down until you face it. And the way to face it is to sit in it. Sit with it. Sit with it. And keep sitting with it. Keep sitting with it until those jagged edges get smooth. And you know some of my stuff. You know I had jagged edges. I still got jagged edges. We all do. We all do. We got stuff from 30 years, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 70 years ago. We got stuff from 7 minutes ago. 7 hours ago we got stuff, don't we? Because most of us woke up with something on our minds this morning that didn't feel good, didn't we? Whether it was some thought we came up with on our own, or somebody said something to us, or we heard something and we compared ourselves to somebody, or you were on your way driving here and you ran into some kind of problem, or somebody cut you off, or whatever it is. Whatever it is. We have great minds, active brains. There are a billion things that can trip us up at any moment, any moment. Any moment. And just when you think you're running smooth and life is going well, bam, something comes again. Something comes again. But we have the power to always go through life like this. Yes, smooth and easy. Joyful, happy, grounded. But we got to tap into the silence so that you meet the part of you that is that. So that you can confront that part of you. And that front part of you confronts you. Because it'll show up. It always shows up. It'll show up in a way to knock your socks off some days. But we got to be willing to go to the quiet. Go to the quiet. I've been practicing meditation now for probably, Lordy, 20-some years, close to 30. I'm still finding places. I'm still confronting. And once you've gone to a certain level of growth, then something is beckoning you to go even deeper, even further, to become even more expansive. It is the secret place. So this is where this came from. It actually comes from Scripture, but H. Emily Cady wrote about it in Lessons in Truth. She says, "There's nothing the human heart so longs for, so cries out after, as to know God, whom to know aright is life eternal. With a restlessness that is pitiful to see, people are ever shifting from one thing to another, always hoping to find rest and satisfaction in some anticipated accomplishment or possession. Men fancy that they want houses and lands, great learning or power. They pursue these things and gain them only to find themselves still restless, still unsatisfied. At the great heart of humanity, there is a deep and awful homesickness that never has been and never can be satisfied with anything less than a clear, vivid consciousness of the indwelling presence of God. In all ages, earnest men and women who have recognized this inner hunger as the heart's cry after God have left seeking after things and have sought by devoted worship and by service to others to enter into this consciousness. But few have succeeded in reaching the promised place where their joy is complete. Others have hoped and feared alternately. They have tried, and with the best knowledge they possess, to work out their own salvation, not yet having learned that there must be an inworking as well as an outworking. By grace, or free gift, You have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing, nor any human working. It is the gift of God, not the result of works, so that no one may boast. To him who dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High, there is promised immunity from the snare of the fowler and the noisome pestilence, from the terror by night and the arrow that flieth by day, and even immunity from fear of these things. Oh, the awfully paralyzing effect of fear and evil. It makes us helpless as babes. It makes us ants, whereas we might be giants were we only free from it. It is at the root of all our failures, of nearly all sickness, poverty, and distress. But we have the promise of deliverance from even the fear of evil when we are in the secret place. The secret place. Why called a secret place? What is it? Where may we find it? How abide in it? It is a secret place because it is a place of meeting between the Christ at the center of your being and your consciousness. A hidden place into which no outside person can either induct you or enter himself. You must drop the idea that this place of realization of our divinity can be given to us by any human being. No one can come into it from the outside. Hundreds of earnest persons are seeking night and day to get this inner revealing. They run from teacher to teacher, many of them making the most frantic efforts to meet the financial obligations thus incurred. The secret place. Nobody can find it. Nobody can lead you there. Nobody can tell you what it is for you. Nobody can tell you what it feels like. You have to go there. You have to be willing to get quiet and face whatever is there. Whatever is there. And surrender fully to it. And just let it unfold. Part of the problem is we don't know what's going to happen when we go there. We want some kind of roadmap. We want some kind of idea. Give me a list of 10 things that might possibly happen. I don't know what's going to happen when you go to the quiet. What I do know is whatever it is will heal you if you will let it. Whatever it is will give you joy if you will let it. Whatever it is will give you peace if you will let it, if you will sit with it long enough for it to work with you being conscious of that working. It's always working because we can't be separated from divine consciousness, from divine wisdom. We are that thing. But if we're running around in the hectic life and outside life, if we're only acquainted with what is outside of us, we will be controlled utterly by that. And look how crazy most of us are, seeking it outside of us. Everything that Dia read about, all of that comes from the secret place. The silence, the quiet, and whatever it is that needs to unfold for you. What I do know, and this may be part of the problem, part of the problem may be, what do you believe about that interior world? And where do you think it comes from? And what do you think about the interior world? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we haven't started there because I have full faith, full knowingness to my bones that in that space I am consciously aware of God. And that has made God more a part of my awareness when I'm not in the silence. When I've come up out of meditation and I'm walking through my day, I see God and experience God in so much more. Like the bliss that Rahim had. He saw and felt God everywhere, in everybody, in every experience. And that's what bliss is. That's what bliss is. You can't smoke it, can't drink it. You can't eat it. It's not cheesecake. It's not fried chicken. It's not barbecue. It's not your mama's biscuits. Though in the moment, when you're biting in, you think, oh, this is bliss. Thanks, Mama, for the bliss. And those biscuits are slathered in butter, and you think, oh, that's good. Pretty soon you're going to run out of biscuits. And at some point, Mama's not there, is she? She's not in the kitchen anymore. Yeah. And what do we do then? What do we do then? We can still have that bliss. And that feeling when you're in the kitchen with her, eating those biscuits, wiping up the butter. You can have a similar experience of her in the secret place. I believe she's there, waiting in the secret place. All the joy we seek outside of us, all the love that you want and dream of is in the secret place. And you get to live that out when you come out of meditation and you go into your day. That's why I start my day with it. And then my day starts with a God awareness. That's why we do this. That's why it takes practice. Because we're so used to the outer world, we're so used to this being our reality that we forget that the real reality, that the real stuff of life is the interior life. The interior life. We need to have a rich interior life. A lot of us have a rich outer life, a rich physical life, a rich environment that we live in. Richness in our friends, in our loved ones, in our relationships. All of it, all of it, all of it, all of it can go away. All of it can. Sometimes it can all go away in an instant. We all know life as that, don't we? All of us have been confronted by that at some moment in our lives, in some days, and some weeks, and some months, and some years, right? Some of us have weathered some really tough times. But peace and bliss, comfort and groundedness can still exist in those times if we have a rich interior life. If we spend time with the soul of us, the part that never leaves you, that can't vacate, that can't run, that doesn't close up, no matter what you do or how fast you run. Meditation studies, they're finding out that people who meditate are more empathetic, are more open and giving, because there's something about being in that secret place that starts to emanate all through you, and suddenly you are spreading more goodness and light everywhere you go. And suddenly, by going within, just you, little o you might say, in the secret place, suddenly you are feeling one with all. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to manufacture it. You don't even have to affirm it. It will happen naturally. Because you're doing the interior work. As within, so without. As within, so without. You couldn't keep it in if you tried it. The secret place. Don't be afraid of it. Don't make it complicated. You don't have to read books about it. Again, I can't believe I say this often. You don't even have to listen to me about it. You can have the richest interior life ever and never step back in here. Because it is all inside. It is, but we have to know that. We have to trust that. We have to try it. That's why we're doing the 100 days, so we can try it, so we can step in there, dip our toes in it, and say, oh, okay, all right. Be faced with the challenge. Be faced with the fact that some days it's not going to feel good, that some days your brain is noisy, that your body is noisy, that some days you just simply don't want to sit because you think you got better things to do. A lot of days I think I got better things to do than to sit in meditation. And then I get over myself. Depending on my priorities. And my priority is that I come from a place of peace and love, always. But I can only do that if I have a rich interior life. If I'm left to the personality of Kim, that's not always pretty. If we're left to just our egos and what we do, what our egos help us do in order to protect ourselves, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. We need an ego to protect us, to think about survival, to think about relationships, to come in and give you cues about things, to let you know when you need to fight or flee, to protect you. We need a brain and a mind that can discern about what of the 8 gazillion things that are going in, all this information flying around the world, what are the things that you need to pay attention to at any given moment. We need that. But letting that part of ourselves be the boss of our lives is dangerous. It's dangerous. Not because it's evil, not because it comes from a bad place, but that there is an inner experience, that this inner consciousness, this divine wisdom within us knows all things and knows things that the brain cannot figure out. It knows things beyond our baggage and beyond culture and beyond convention and beyond rationality. Because divine wisdom knows all things in the universe at all times since time before time began, before we started constructing something called time. Divine wisdom contains all those things. And it contains all those thoughts and ideas and everything, requirements, whatever the world needs for as long as we exist, as long as there is energy. Divine wisdom is that. Divine wisdom knows what's possible in impossible situations. Divine wisdom can tell us how to persist in untenable situations. Divine wisdom can be in our comfort in painful situations. Divine wisdom can help you be grounded in the noisy life that we live. As Dia read to us, divine wisdom can give you the perfect answer to this moment. Give it to you. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to get a spreadsheet with pros and cons, nothing. You can just go in, check in, what is mine to do at this moment? And divine wisdom will lead you forward. Lay it right here. Lay it right here. And then you can either choose to do it. That's why the word was choice. You can either choose to do it or not. You can go your own way. Every time I do, I drive it in the ditch. And when I listen to divine wisdom, when I heed divine wisdom, always it works out better than I ever could have imagined. Always. But it will ask things of you that you never thought of doing sometimes. The secret place. It's a beautiful place. It is the place of all answers. But we are willing to get quiet and stop all the noise and confront ourselves. And yeah, there might be some scary, emotional moments where you think, oh, I didn't want to think of that. I didn't want to think about that thing I did. I didn't want to think about that thing that was done to me. I don't want to think about it. I don't want that right now. But what I do know is if we'll sit there with it long enough, then we allow divine wisdom to surround us in that place and heal it in whatever way it needs to be healed, whether you are asked to do something or not. Most often, for me, when I am in the secret place and I am confronted by something in my past or something I'm currently grappling with, it smooths out the jagged edges. And whatever I saw as an issue, I may not see as an issue now because I know what is guiding me through life. And I know what is my ground, I know what is my center, I know what is my essence. And I either step out of that meditation knowing what is right for me to do, or I feel right in that moment. And I feel right in that moment. Even if there's nothing for me to do, most of it is because I need to shift this thing. And just express the divinity that is me. Most of the time, our problems in the world, we created ourselves by either something we did or a way we showed up or the way we're thinking about it. You can shift a situation by shifting your mindset about it. And in the secret place, God, the Creator, consciousness, whatever you call it, doesn't matter what you call it, as long as you commune with it. And let that pour over you. Let that flow through you. Let you feel that and experience that. And to know yourself as that. And to know that you need not have anything have your back. Because you are the thing itself. You are love itself. You are wisdom itself. And live from that place. Live from the secret place into life. Live from the secret place into life. All you gotta do is sit and get quiet. Nothing to do. Nothing special. I mean, I do like the bells and whistles. I like to light a candle. I like to start with music. But really, I just need to sit my butt down and get quiet. So sometimes when I'm running around because I don't have matches to light my candle, and I'm getting all in a flurry because I can't set up my environment, sometimes I just have to say, just sit down and get quiet. Stop all the stuff, sit and get quiet. So I talk to myself like I'm a 3-year-old sometimes. Just sit your butt down and get quiet. Well, yeah, whatever you got to do. Yeah.
Do you have a camera at my house?
Do I need a recording of me and you can each have one? Just sit your butt down. And just get quiet. Let the flow of life recognize it's already flowing through you. You just got to recognize it. It's already there, waiting for you to sit there and go, get there long enough for you to go, oh, yeah, okay, all right. It's waiting for you. And for many of you, I know it does for me, some days it's knocking. Maybe in the inside of my head, woo-hoo, woo-hoo, go sit down, sit down, sit down, get quiet. Sit down, get quiet. So when you find yourself in indecision, when you find yourself in chaos, when you find yourself grappling with whatever, you got a headache because you're not sure what to do, go sit and get quiet. Sit and get quiet. Go to the secret place. Go to the secret place. There's nothing to fear there. Absolutely nothing. I've dealt with some dark times, some dark moments, some dark experiences, some things I wasn't proud of, those things I wish I hadn't done, the things I wish I had. All of that I've confronted in the silence. And at some point, sitting in the silence, I was reminded I am love. You're good. Your love, your peace, your joy, your bliss. Be that. You are that. So be willing to get quiet. Even if you haven't done the 100 days yet, start today. Start tomorrow. Dip your toe in the water. Do 5 minutes. And then do 10. Then do 15. And when you feel the most uncomfortable, go back again. Because that's where our peace lies. That's where it begins. You can divest yourself of all the crazy. All of it. No matter how long the crazy's been there. Trust me, I had some old crazy to deal with. It smooths out in the quiet place. The secret place. It's calling to you. It's calling you. I invite you to listen and to heed it and to sit your butt down and get quiet. Let's take this into meditation. Let's just breathe. So if you have resistance to being in the quiet, or if you have resistance to being there for any length of time, if you're still checking off meditation on your list of things to do and not giving yourself to it fully, and opening your arms wide to the grace of full surrender, I want you to be willing. I invite you in this moment to think about why. Why are you running? What is it you're trying to run from? Why are you resisting? What truly are your priorities in life? This peace and joy. Harmony, unity, groundedness, are they priorities for you? Truly? And is your living in alignment with those priorities? Are you willing to give yourself the gift of surrender and peace? What do you have to shift in your life to make space for the secret place? And are you willing to do it? Are you willing to meet God in deep space within your heart, your consciousness? Are you willing to drop the baggage you have, that you carry? Are you willing to face that there is some payoff to holding some of that baggage? And are you willing to heal that and drop the baggage so you have more peace and joy, so that you have bliss every day of the week? What rationalizations are you making in your everyday life so that you can avoid confronting yourself? And are you willing to see yourself as love and to open to that? To have an experience of God in the quiet. Are you willing to have your jagged edges smoothed out so that you can step into life more powerfully, more boldly, more peacefully? Creating harmony wherever you go. Are you willing to let your light of magnificence shine upon the world? For that's what you'll find in the secret place. Are you willing to be the light? Are you willing to let that light seep into all the dark corners you think you have? Are you willing to stop thinking of yourself as damaged, victimized, besieged? unworthy. Are you willing just to be pure light, to express that in life, and to be a gift to all those you come into contact with, and to contribute to a global consciousness that is light and peace and harmony and unity? Are you willing to heal yourself so you can heal the world just by being yourself? Are you willing to slow down and get quiet? To open the door to all good things? Are you willing to surrender, not knowing what that experience may bring, but knowing that whatever it is, will bring you your highest and best? Will fulfill dreams that you've even forgotten you had. That will answer questions that have confounded you for decades. That will heal rifts in relationships that have been there for a very long time. For all things are possible. All things are possible with God as God, with love as love, and in the secret place, love comes for you. Love overflows through you, and you get to feel it and be it and experience it as you in the secret place. Every ounce of darkness will be lit up in the secret place. Every void you thought you had will be filled to overflowing. You will be filled to overflowing. And you will share with your immediate world and the world at large that overflowing just by shining your light. Just by shining your brilliant, brilliant, infinite light. Let's take a deep breath together. Breathe it in. Exhale. Memorize this place of knowingness, this place of peace, this place of goodness, and this feeling of surrender. For the more we open our arms wide, the more goodness flows. Open your arms wide. And so in this moment we say yes and thank you for all good things. We say yes and thank you for the secret place, from which all things spring. We say yes and thank you for love. For love. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen.